I've always been a champion for the rights of creatives since the days of the late Poxi Presha. He got me into this. He got me into a lot of things. Poxi Presha.
I'm curious to know that story. Were you guys friends?
Yeah, for sure. Since I was a kid, man, since I was like a teenager. He's from Mombasa, that boy. And the late. And Poxi, I have the last verse he ever recorded before he died. I have that, just that audio. It was on a Nyota Ndogo song.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. My name is Cheptoek Boyo and today we have Elchie Virani Amin. Sindio?
Yes.
Lakini Amin hautumiangi sana. He's a filmmaker stroke the treasurer at Kenya Actors Guild. Karibu sana Elchie.
Yes. I'm happy to be here.
But you don't look happy.
It's been so it looks warm and bright in here, but outside it's raining. I was on a bike.
It is?
Yes. It's a lot of things out there.
Pole sana.
Yep.
Now, first I want to thank you because I've known you for...
That's for saying the mic.
Okay. 207, 208. Then,
yes.
I was still in college. And you did my VOs twice.
True that. The
first one was for a college project. I came.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
Damn, it's a long time.
The second one was for a job interview again.
Indeed.
You did. So thank you so much, Elchie.
Most welcome.
Karibu sana. Now, which county do you come from?
County.
Of course, I know you're a Kenyan.
Yeah, I am. Homa Bay County. Yes.
Studied there?
No, I didn't. But I mean, I was born in the 80s, if that's worth anything. And life in the then Nyanza province was very different from life in Kenya today. Because the way, when I was born, there was a coup, right? And thereafter, as I grew up in my childhood, Nyanza province became like it was systemically underdeveloped for political reasons. So where I was born, whereas during World War I and II, there was ships and factories and stuff. After at the 80s, there was like no roads, no piped water. I don't even think there is in that place right now. But there's no tarmac roads, no piped water, there's no electricity. So that's where I come from. And so obviously, because of that, there weren't good schools as well. So I had to go to a bigger city or bigger town at that time to look for education, I think.
Which is which town?
It was Kisumu town. Yes.
Okay. So which schools did you attend?
I'm ambiguously educated. So I was in Aga Khan. I think some famous people are from my school, very famous people.
For both primary, high school?
For primary, I was in high school, I was in other places. But in primary, we had the unique distinction of school of having the only person in the history of Kenya, Dr. Naim Samnaki, to be first in the whole of Kenya in KCP and first in KCAC.
Hey.
So first in both, in the whole country. So it's distinct, and it was not for nothing that Nyanza province had a reputation for having very educated people. It was really a passion. People were really into books and stuff. Yes, people really wanted to be clever, seen to be clever. It was a thing.
I think now they still do.
In some places, yes. But that time it was like the thing. It was really, really the thing. Like, wanted to be the best in the country, and it was never a joke. Not just in education, but in sports and entertainment too. Because I've been to a lot of places in the world. A lot of places. And if I think back in my memory, where did I see the best artists? Home is still number 1 or 2. Still like the things that I saw in my childhood are still in my mind today. Like, it was so spectacular.
Wow.
Yes, it was incredible. Yes.
So high school, where did you go to?
At first, I came to Nairobi. I was on some kind of scholarship at Aga Khan Academy. It was my first experience to be in this city. It was a culture shock of sorts.
Why was it a culture shock?
For a village kid, then it was already hard enough to transit to Kisumu, and then as a teenager to come here. There are so many things I didn't know. There's so many things I didn't understand. Whereas, say, in Kisumu, it's a small city.
Was it the lifestyle aspect that was
absolutely.
challenging?
It's not challenging. It was just extremely
Surprising.
new and far more diverse, right, and cosmopolitan. I'd never met. There are certain things that I'd never seen before, right? I'd never seen an upper class African neighborhood, upper middle class African neighborhood. That didn't exist in Kisumu. It did, but it was very few people, like in Milimani Estate, and that was it, right? Those guys were like well politically connected and so and so. And I never seen like a black kid driving a Mercedes Benz to school. Like I never seen something like that.
Ooh. Even now, I have never seen that.
I'd seen Indians, because Indians in Kisumu are very rich. Like the few of them were there, so they could do it. But to see a black person do that, it was incredible. I was like, shit, these are like the kids back in my hood. The guys I chill with, but this guy's driving Mercedes and shit. Like, I was like, wow. It's like Otieno here, but Otieno's driving a Mark. It's not the Otieno we know. I should show my auntie this. So there was that culture shock, and then obviously there weren't very many like mixed race people in Kisumu. So, we're a minority. Not that anyone ever treated us badly, especially not Africans. Maybe the Indians saw me a little bit differently. But to come here, I saw a new breed of mixed race people. And then I heard them, they were called pointees. And I was like, so this is a thing. And it was incredible because most of these pointees were fucking rich. So then I was like, wow, so pointees, so I'm one of these guys? And they're all rich. And women really love them for some reason.
Did they love you?
Them, then I came in, so now it was us as well. So coming from a small town where we're looked at differently, right? We're teenagers now. And say like the Indian community are small in Kisumu, so everybody knew, they're like, this is like the poor Chotara kid, it's like the poor mixed race kid. Our girls shouldn't hang out with this guy. And the girls will come and tell me, my dad said, I shouldn't hang out with you. It's like, cool, man, that's nice. And then I come to Nairobi and it's like, people are after me, like, they're buying me stuff. And I was like, like some girl bought me like a bracelet. She went to the shop inside it on a weekend. So come see me inside. I was like, oh, nice, we're going to the mall. And she went into the shop and like bought me a bracelet at that time for like about 8,000 bob. In the 90s.
That was rich.
I was like, man. I was like, lady, 8,000 bob it could change how I think. it would help me change my life choices. I started thinking about it. She's like, why are you looking so stressed? I was like, so I was anxious. I think I was sweating in that shop. I had cold sweat. So there was that. It was culture shock, just generally social culture shock.
But at least it was positive. In Nairobi more than in Kisumu. Sure.
No. It's positive. The thing about culture, and when you go to different places, it's not positive and negative. It's just different. I can't say that the experience in Kisumu is negative. It's not true. It's very positive. People are very loving. People are very passionate. It's that Kisumu town. That's why we're the people who make political change in this country, because we're passionate. We're just generally passionate people when we come from there, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just different, right? Because the city, the area, the province was impoverished generally. Like there were more poor people than there were rich people for political reasons and other reasons. So when we came here, now I was living in a more affluent neighborhood, in a school which is a bit more upmarket, so to speak.
Yeah.
Private school. Aga Khan in Kisumu was not a private school. It was like a private school. things changed in the 90s. The distinction between private and public, that's where the definitions were drawn. That's where the lines were drawn. So it was more a culture shock. Came to the city. The first time I sat in a mat in town, and I used to love it so much that I used to have, I think it was like 20 bob per trip. So I'd get like 100 bob or something and just sit in the mat the whole day, like the whole morning, just, going up different routes. I think the first time as a teenager, I was shocked. I saw a girl in a miniskirt in town. I'd never seen that shit in my life. Man, it's just like, I just stood there. It was, where is Tuskies now? Near Archives. Right? Where the number 9, the 11s pass there. Near Luduli, that junction. Accra Road. I was there. I came off Odeon, right? And I just stood there in the middle. I was like, huh? How? It was like in the middle of the day.
How?
I was like, what's going on here? And okay, the women were really well dressed. I thought like if this was back home, this would be an event. this would be something. I was like, this would be something special happening. It's like nothing. It's the middle of the day. It's like Wednesday. It's like 11 a.m. like now. It was a culture shock through and through. And it's Nairobi City, so you can think about what I felt like the first time I went to Buruburu, the first time I went to Dandora, the first time I went to Lavington, the first time I went to Loresho, the first time I went to Runda.
It was a whole experience for you.
There was a lot of things. And, Village Market was, open at that time. I went to Village Market and my eyes were like, what the hell is this? Because the only mall we knew back then was Sarit, Yaya.
I think it was mainly those three.
It was Sarit, Yaya. And then Village came in. It was a whole new concept. It was just a lot to deal with. It was a lot to deal with. University? I went to college, several of them, to study different things. Not in the conventional way. I did continue to read. I had an ambition in my 20s that by the time I get to my 40s that I should have at least 10 different skills and 10 different diplomas. Yeah. How many do you have now? 3. Okay. Yes. 7 more to go. Yeah. Yeah. I read on your bio on LinkedIn that you speak fluent Luo. I know, it really is. I'm sure I wrote like average. I'm sure I have to check. Can I check my phone? I'm sure it's okay. Do we have an internet here? It is not average. I saw languages, English, Swahili, Luo, and I think there was another foreign one there. Sure. I can speak French rudimentarily. I can speak Gujarati and Kutchi because one of my grandparents is Gujarat. I saw Hindi. The other one is Kutch. And Hindi is like the national language of India. So, and of course, very little Arabic because I was born and raised Muslim. So there's a lot of prayers in Arabic. So it's just a lot of languages. Now, how did you get into this filmmaking business? That's a story. That's an interesting story. And I like to repeat it because now it's ingrained in my head so I can say it here as well. When I was in standard 8, it was 844 back then. I have no clue what people are studying right now. It keeps changing. CBC. Oh, that's the thing now. Yes. That's what my daughter is doing. Yeah, my kids are also doing something. I have to participate all the time. I have to check their homework. This is some shit, man. That was something. That is something. It's a different type of parenthood. So, you're asking? How did you get into filmmaking? Yes. So when I was in standard 8, that's true. I was in the top of that class, right? And at that time, I used to ask a lot of questions from the people I admire in sports and entertainment, right? So I used to follow football very closely, the coaching systems in Germany, in the United Kingdom, and I used to follow famous people, and I used to try and find out how they got there the same way you're asking me how I did. Yes. So what I quickly determined in standard 8 was that people who are fortunate are people who know what they want early in life. And at standard 8, I could not have data on how. I didn't know. There was no data. From the top 10 of that class, am I allowed to name people? No, if you want. Damn. Anyway, the guy was number 1. He wanted to be some kind of analyst, some kind of, statistician. And that's what he probably is right now. He is. The lady was number 2, wanted to be a doctor. She's a doctor. Number 3 was, I think, also a lady. She wanted to be a doctor. She's a doctor in Pakistan right now. Number 4, Brian, he wanted to be a chemical engineer. He's a chemical engineer. It's like people, it's true that the people who were on top of that class knew what they wanted inside and they are what they wanted to be. And they got it very easily, relatively, because they just learned the skills early. They were motivated. So it's kind of, some people are fortunate to be able to know what they want early in life. It's not the, how do you say, it's not the rule of thumb. It's like not everybody should not know what they want when they are 13 or 12 or 13. But people who do are very fortunate.
They're very lucky.
And I knew right there, I think I wrote on my desk, right on the side of the desk, so the thing we used to do. And I wrote, I want to be an entertainer, or work in this industry. At that time, I must have wrote rapper or something. Something like that. And I always knew I want to do this even 6 years before that, right? Because I would be like, we had those tape recorders which had record on it, and I would like practice drums on a like a bucket, plastic bucket or something. And we would make speakers at home. Like we'd find broken speakers and put them into buckets. Just we used to like DIY kids from a young age. Me, my brother. So I always knew that this is what I'm going to do. So I had those DIY skills from the get-go, like from when I was 6. My father was a mechanic. My uncle also had a lot of mechanical knowledge. So we used to fix our own stuff back home, our own cars and stuff. Tables, chairs, whatever. Like my uncle had welding machines and stuff. So we had the DIY culture at a young age. Still very important. Anything you do in life, any region in the world that has people who are skilled at something, it's because it's part of their culture.
Yeah.
Tanzanians and Nigerians and West Africans and Central Africans and South Africans and North Africans are better than us in music because it's just part of the day-to-day life. So these kids is growing up and it's just happening right next to them.
Yeah.
And in Kenya, it's a little bit different. You have to go somewhere to do music. You have to,
you have to move
from something to somewhere, and you have to sometimes pay money, and it's a lot of things. So culturally that was already there. And I already knew what I wanted. And then as I grew older, I learned different skills in different places. Long stories, so probably can't share that. You told me to overshare, but it's a lot of things. Because I've been a lot of places. And so as I grew older, I'm going to summarize this, that when I got to filmmaking, it was the place where you needed to have DIY skills, where you need to have that passion to want to work with this kind of equipment. And
you have to actually know how to handle it.
So it was so easy for me. It was so easy that to date I don't consider it work. It's just too easy. To date I don't consider it work.
Wow.
Yes. I'm just happy that it can earn money. But yeah.
Okay. I read still on your bio.
Yes.
You worked. You worked at Raila Odinga Center. What were you doing there?
As a filmmaker. I was doing a documentary.
On him or his work?
On him. Yes.
Where can we find this documentary?
I'm a political, so I don't know which office to knock to find that documentary. But it's there somewhere.
Okay.
Yes.
So was it, what kind of documentary was it? Like in what theme, angle were you shooting?
I was just an employee for a company there. I was hired for my skills, and I was thrown into like the middle of this incredible political journey. It had good and bad sides because it was politics. When I first came to work in the political scene, I was very naive. I was idealistic, right? Because I read the ODM manifesto at the time. And I was like, wow, this is a really good thing. This can change Kenya. Until I went to the field and I saw how it's implemented. And I was like, wow. The things I'm not sure I can say here, things I don't know, I cannot say in this microphone here. Yes.
So what are the positive and negatives?
The positives is that I think that's when I grew from a boy to a man. Yes, it was very difficult. I quit after the post-election violence, I quit working, like in that field completely. I just didn't want anything to do with politics because it was very unfair. Everything that happened during that period was extremely unfair, very unfair. At the time I met you, though. When you met me was when me transitioning away from that back into like arts and entertainment.
Yeah, you had your studio.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's true. Yes. So that was me just never wanting to do anything with politics again. That was it. Yes.
Now, you shot music videos for the likes of Macadam, Janet Otieno. Why didn't you decide to be a full-blown music director and specialize on just music videos?
I don't know. I have some type of ADHD, so I can get bored very fast. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. I started to not like music after 2012. Dealing with musicians is one of the hardest things ever. And I don't think it's just this country, because if you go elsewhere, it's nearly the same thing.
I think generally dealing with creatives.
Yes. True. It's not just musicians. I come to think of it, yes, it's a lot of things. But music is particularly difficult simply because the money is not that much. Like, very few musicians in this country are actually financially successful. It's a handful of people. It's 5-6 people. You count them, you know who they are.
Yeah.
And so it was really a struggle to get anything done at a certain quality. It was really a struggle for these artists to break through the gates with the gatekeepers, and especially in this city, it's pretty tough. So I just didn't want anything to do with music after just like 1 or 2 years. Like, staki kitu. I think the last big thing I did in music was Sauti za Busara, 2010, 2011, I'm not sure. And some jobs I did with Macadam because he was like a high-flying artist. And so those are the last things I did. I'm making a comeback now. Yes, but now more just like a producer in terms of guiding a process. Not like involved at the level that I was. It's different now. Yes.
You don't want to do the dirt.
There are things I can't do. It's not dirty, but it's just things I can't do.
It's good to know when you've grown or outgrown something.
I had terribly outgrown that. I was already outgrowing that at that time. I was just like starting. I was like, apana. Let's stop now. Now is a good time to stop. Yes.
In 2019, you were named the treasurer of Kenya Actors Guild.
Actors.
Why are you acting surprised? Kenya Actors Guild. Yeah. What changes have you made as Elchie so far?
The Kenya Actors Guild is a tough conversation. I think, again, just like politics, I came in naive. Having read the Constitution, I thought, wow, this is such a great thing. If it's done properly, it can really help the whole sector. It's not just the acting sector. It's because everything's related very closely. Now, once in office is when I realized what kind of challenge I just walked into, right? All associations, all entertainment-related associations struggle in this country, right? They struggle on so many levels, especially financially. Now, different associations relate to government because they're registered at Sharia House at different levels, depending on how much money that particular sector generates. Actors have had the raw end for the longest time, right? And we came in 2019, we called an AGM, because that's what we were told we were supposed to do, it was a mandate we were told by the membership to do. On the AGM, 20 people showed up.
No way. Do you know how many actors are in this country?
Let's not even go there. So 20 people showed up.
You are the 68th person who's in this film industry to sit on that chair.
I can only
so
imagine.
Averagely, but you're also an actor. So I've interviewed 68 actors. And only 20 of them who might not be among the 68 showed up.
There are some of there that your list has my people in it. I haven't read it. I guarantee you that. And before we could find out what the issues were and the struggles of trying to run the office, we had COVID in 2020. And we were excused from having in-person meetings for 2 years-ish.
Yeah.
And so maybe Sharia was, they were a bit lax with us. They're like, anyways, nikubaya, it's all good. In that period, not a lot of activity happened, right? And we struggled. The biggest struggle we had running the office is that there was no income. There was two ways that the association, the guild, earns money, primarily, as per guided by the constitution. One is registration fees, and the other one is subscriptions. I think to date, very few people have paid subscriptions. I'm not going to give a number because I don't know why this thing is being shown. I haven't signed the release clause yet, so I'll determine what you'll actually hear. I don't know, but I haven't signed the release clause yet. But yeah, so I'm going to be very cagey about numbers, but very few people are actually paid. So my question to most people is that how are they expecting this office to run? Despite that, we managed to get the bank accounts running again, get the M-Pesas running again. We managed to do an audit, a financial audit. We managed to do, for the first time, it had never been done in the history of the Actors Guild. Nobody had ever done a financial audit. We were the first ones who did it when we took office in 2019. We tried to operationalize it. We didn't have physical office. And when a lot of people wanted documents from me, I was like, where do you want to see them? In a cafeteria, in my house, in my bedroom? Where do you suggest we have this official transaction? So there was a lot of challenges, yes. But at least we did a couple of workshops, and we hope to do more. We interacted with a lot of government officials because we are closely linked in an amorphous WhatsApp group with a lot of creatives where we discuss the industry and we come up with ideas and we try and make things better. And I think when the Kenya Kwanza government took over, they've taken some interest through CS Ababu in the sector. There is a lot of movement. So we'll see what comes out of that. So as far as the struggles of our association and guild, yes, it's been tough. And we tried to do a little bit to make changes. We had COVID to deal with. And now, of course, we need to, make it better. And people are coming back to participate and to make it better. Yes. People are taking interest.
Averagely.
Yes.
How many actors are registered with the guild?
A couple of hundred.
Couple of 100?
Yes.
100, 200, 300,
a bit more.
400?
Around 400, yes.
Around 400.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good number.
Which is also the same number of actors, kind of, who are registered at PRISC, which is a royalty collecting body for performers. And that too has its own challenges.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think about the new red card, which you guys
We didn't
released?
make a red card. We never released the red card. The red card, we found it as is. We wanted to discuss it at the AGM. That AGM had, was called off because lack of quorum. So it's an old red card.
Aha.
The red card just gained prominence because of the turbulence in the United States industry and South African industry. Yes, so it's an old one, and we're hoping to revise it very soon. In the process of getting an AGM and trying to, put the ship back in the ocean. Yes.
In this old red card,
Yes.
there were noises online.
Yes.
One being from actor Charles Oda, who said the guild did not involve the media stakeholders and other people while making the red card. But you have said...
How did he know that?
But
you
have said...
Yes.
You have said this is an old...
It is an
red
old
card.
It absolutely is, yes.
Okay.
How did Charles Ouda know that people weren't involved? Where did he get this information from? Did he share?
He shared it on Instagram.
Yes, and
he did a video
until he explains where he get the information from. I would know what he's saying.
Okay. Now, managing financials in a professional organization can be complicated.
Only.
What are the main challenges the guild is facing?
We had the thing that, a lot of people didn't pay subscriptions. So we couldn't pay for just simple things like office, rent, post office. You couldn't run it like a proper office. Yes.
So now that guys are paying this subscription, is it monthly, quarterly, yearly? Annually.
It's 3,000 shillings a year.
3,000 shillings.
Which was set in AGM in 2016. Yes.
And for actors who, let's say this year I'm able to pay, next year I'm not able to pay, what are the ramifications?
Constitutionally, if you don't pay your subs, then you're not a fully, you don't have full privileges of a member.
What are these privileges?
Well, you can't vote at an AGM. I guess you can't make proposals for the same agendas for SGMs, AGMs. You can't participate in certain maybe activities. Yes.
Okay. So what are the benefits of being a member of an Actors Guild?
I think the best way to answer that is that the objectives of the guild are in the constitution. So if anyone who is a member is immediately given a copy of the constitution, and the objectives of the guild are very clear. It's a welfare organization to look after the interests of actors. So its objectives are very clear. And I think it's very important, even for you as an interviewer and anyone else questioning, to first read it and then ask questions based on the written objectives. Yes.
When we talk about finances and actors, it's like two different stories. Many actors are struggling.
Yeah. Many creatives generally, not just actors, yes. Whatever is happening to us is happening to everyone else.
Yeah. Yes. But now for me, I want to talk about the actors' problems with money, either misappropriating or lack of education and all that.
Yes.
What can the Actors Guild do to help them?
I think
not necessarily in terms of sending money to them or that, but education-wise.
I think in the work plan for the guild, right, we have several workshops which involve organizations, government organizations, non-government organizations, educational organizations, finance organizations, entities as well, who we can collaborate with to be able to help educate actors and creatives in general on how to better professionally manage themselves. Yes. So this is definitely going to happen. I can see the team that is now forming to run the process across government. Everybody's interested. Everybody has good input. We had a film summit maybe a few days ago. I don't know if you were there or not.
I wasn't there, but I know it happened.
Yes, so people are putting ideas forward, and government is listening, and other people are listening. So stakeholders are listening, and we should find a way soon, or a better way at least.
You've just talked about there will be a meeting where you guys will be revising the red card.
There will be, yes.
Yes. Do you think there's a point where actors will be making good money in this country?
Some make good money, like some musicians. Some creatives generally make good money in this country. Yes.
No, I'm saying being paid wise on TV. Because now
TVs are dying.
TV, streaming or whatever.
Yes.
Because right now, a lot of money is from you get into acting.
Yes.
You're seen on TV or streaming and all that. You make your name.
Yes.
Then now you go on social media, build your brand, and now you get the what is it called? Campaigns and all that. And that's the only way actors are making good money. Those who are making good money.
It's not the only way, but it's one of the key ways.
One of the key ways.
Yes.
But I'm saying just by streaming, like my program is streaming and I'm making good money.
I don't think there are that many people making money.
My program is on TV and I'm making good money.
Because
just through acting, without these other side benefits.
through acting alone, it's tricky. That will be a select few. Yes, it will be a select few, and it might always be that way for a long time to come. But through now, the thing that you don't want to discuss, the side revenue streams. Let's don't call them benefits. Revenue streams. Yeah, that's where the magic is. If you know how to manipulate that, you're going to make a lot of money.
Where do you see the industry heading now that this acting one? I've not moved anywhere.
Okay.
The acting industry heading now that you've been in the industry for over a decade plus.
Yes.
Where do you see it heading?
Just acting?
Yes.
Acting is a bright future. We have some of the best actors in this country. I think there's a couple of people who have Oscars and stuff, you know.
Oscars?
Yeah, Lupita has an Oscar.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't know she's the founding member of Kenya Actors Guild?
I didn't know that.
See?
Yeah. But you said a couple of people, so...
Yeah, there are people who are in the Oscar committee. Maybe not all of them actors, but I think we have 5 people in the Los Angeles committees.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Judy Kibinge is one of them.
Wanuri
is one of them, you're right. This other lady who I met on the film summit, she's one of them, and 2 other people. I don't have their names right here, but yes, 5. And Lupita, yes. So Lupita, Wanuri, Judy, and 2 other and that lady I met, and one other person I have not met yet. Yes.
Okay. You call yourself an adventurer. What do you do on your part-time?
I'm an extroverted person who likes his own company. So I really don't like being bothered. I like to be myself, by my own. I go places. I have been a lot of places. I'm happy with how life turned out. It might have started off a little rocky, but yeah, we just went places. Saw a lot of things. Met a lot of people. Yes.
So would you say you're a loner who's an extrovert sometimes?
Something like that, yes. Not sometimes. I'm really an extrovert, but also a loner. All at the same time. It's oxymoron. Paradox, sorry.
Of it all. Now, Elchie, the last time I was with you, you're with your wife.
Yes.
How is marriage?
I'm not at liberty to comment. I wasn't allowed to say anything about that. Yeah, I can send a text and check. I'm permitted to discuss that publicly. No clue why you're laughing.
That's the most weirdest answer I've ever gotten for this question.
The best answer.
Okay, let's leave wife aside.
Yes.
How is parenting in terms of having kids and your life? How is it?
It's good. I think kids are good. Yes. What? Yeah, they're really nice kids, man. Yeah.
You just don't like the homework.
I'm surprised that that they're so good.
No, I think your kids would be.
I thought they would be more trouble. That they're not that much trouble. Yes.
You know, a lot of people who are regarded as trouble.
Yes.
They're very strict parents.
Yeah,
it's like they don't want their kids to be like them.
I'm stupidly strict. I'm very strict. Yeah. And I'm very unconventional as a parent. I think if I was living in a Western country, I think social services would be on my back all the time.
Yeah, you will be deported back here.
No, they can't deport me anymore. We're past that. I'm undeportable. But yes, the social services would be knocking on my door, saying, "Brah, man, stop swearing at your kids, man."
Elchie.
Yes.
I think was it a cameo you made on a movie called Strata?
Yes.
Why haven't you decided to become a full actor? Because I see you more behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am, and I cherish that a lot. I don't want to be in front of the camera a lot, or be in front of the mic a lot. I don't do interviews. I don't know why I'm doing this. I really don't do interviews. Actually, I came here to see you, and I came late, and I was hoping you'd say, we've cancelled.
No, I was very prepared for you.
I knew, but I didn't want to come on time. I wanted just to come. I came here to see you. Yes. First of all.
First, thank you for coming and agreeing to do the interview.
Yeah, kind of. I haven't signed the release clause yet. I still don't know. Like, after I say what I have to say, I have to make sure that I clear what can be put in public. I'm not clearing everything. Yes.
As a filmmaker, do you have a particular program or people who influence your work?
Yes.
Who are they?
Now, as you said, first, I stopped being a prolific actor, for lack of better words, and I think a lot of members of the Actors Guild are on my back right now. Mm-hmm. Man, you haven't acted in as many TV series as we did. We're not in as many films as we are. How the hell are you the treasure? I say, I'm treasure. I'm just counting money here. Why are you all up? Why do you have all your panties in a muddle, tied in a knot? Just counting your money, that's all. And I'll audit it and I'll give you reports. But then, why is this a question about my acting? What do you call prolific? My acting career, or how many movies I made, or how many times I went on stage? It was never about that. It was never about that. But I am about films. I'm about the industry. About advocacy. I've always been a champion for the rights of creatives since the days of the late Poxi Presha. He got me into this. He got me into a lot of things. Poxi Presha.
I'm curious to know that story. Were you guys friends?
Yeah, for sure. Since I was a kid, man. Since I was like a teenager. He's from Mombasa, that boy. And the late. And Poxi, I have the last verse he ever recorded before he died. I have that, just that audio. It was on a Nyota Ndogo song. And so originally I was doing the rap on it. And it came out so bad, man. I think I wasn't into it or something. I wasn't that good at the time. Whatever the reasons were. It was so horrible. And just sat there. I recorded it so badly. I delivered it so poorly. And just like dejected. And then Poxi walks into the studio. We're at Jikoni Studios in Ganjoni in Mombasa. And so my dad was like, ask Poxi to do it. The producer, Andrew Burchell, the late also. It was a mentor of mine. And so Poxi comes in. He's like, let me show you how to do this. And then he recorded it in 2 beats, right? It was the first beat and the second beat. I think it was an 8-bar loop. And the first 4 bars and second 4 bars. And it was done like in about 20 minutes. That's it. And then Nyota came the next day. And she heard that verse and she was immediately, that's the one. And I was like, yeah. I had no bad feelings about that I didn't get the verse and Poxi got the verse, because he was really as good as he was. He was what he was. He was what he said he was.
Wow.
Yes.
This is the first time I'm hearing a story about Poxi Presha.
Yeah, so he would explain to me about copyrights, royalties, and I think at that time Jennifer Shamala was the head of MCSK, and I think Tabu was involved at some level. Tabu Suicide Catable, and it was an incredible conversation generally. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I spent a lot of time doing advocacy, teaching people how to just use equipment, because as I said, it's so easy for me. It's not even work. It's second nature. And I use that skill to just share with people, keep up with the times. As you can see, new equipment is extremely competent and affordable. There are things that are in this room right now that the quality it gives, you would need. Well, this only costs a few $100,000. You would have needed a couple of million when I started out to do exactly what we're doing right now, right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, it was too complicated with this heavy.
It was complicated. It was so.
You had to have a specific skill to handle the.
And some skill and a bit of education as well. But right now, we are on this. I think there's a roadcaster there. It's pretty plug and play. Just connect it.
Touch and go.
Yeah.
As long as you know the right buttons, you're good.
You're good to go. So So that's where I focused mostly in just doing like. I made a lot of money, more in documentary work, less in narrative entertainment work, very less in social media or live kind of entertainment, because really I don't want. I'm kind of a private person. I really don't want to be public. I really don't want. I want to be able to
But
walk
you
the
know-
streets at night without being recognized.
Many people recognize you.
No, only industry.
They just don't know
Just industry
what you
people.
do.
Yeah, exactly. Just industry people.
Yeah.
It's even still like Virani. Even the top guys would meet me in the summit or something like, man, we've been seeing each other for like 2 decades. What do you do? So nothing. I don't do shit, man. I hang out.
That's a good private life.
Yes.
What do you think is most fulfilling about being a filmmaker?
One is the title itself. It's a very ambiguous title. I don't know if it means anything. It's just such a fancy title, and especially if you go in the West and you say I'm a filmmaker, and everybody's like, "Wow, shit, Scorsese, Spielberg, what the fuck?" Who's this Tyler Perry type guy? What is this guy here? Spike Lee or something. And so there's that about it. Although we don't have the same education exposure levels as those guys in the West, I think here we are more jack of all trades sort of filmmakers. So most of the successful filmmakers have multiple skills, like me. So as a filmmaker, it suits my character, it suits my abilities, that I have a bit of tech knowledge in this field, that I like entertainment, stories I like to read, I like to watch, observe, learn, people. It's just something I'm very passionate about. It's just part of my life. I can make money out of it, and I can also, lose money, a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Shitload of money. But you get a lot of personal gratification. I think on some of the big projects I've been on, even in this country and in a lot of places even, I'm one of the few guys on set, on the tech side, who can work, who can man the desks, who can edit, who can man one of the cameras, who can go and do the sound. So I can start booming. If the boom guy is sick or something, just gives me his microphone and his equipment. It's like, Virani, please go on. If the cameraman is not well, whoever Joff, whoever is on set that day will be like, Virani, shikilia hapa kidogo na rudi. In the edit suit, it's like the editor is like, I'm tired, I'm going to rest, and director will be like,
Take over.
Let's go, man. Let's go. So recently, a filmmaker asked me this question. I just got introduced to this spectacular filmmaker. It's called Daudi Anguka from Mombasa.
Oh, he was here last week.
Yeah, he told me. And he's like, I did this interview with Boy. I was like, yeah, that's my friend. She's doing interviews now. Let me call her. So I guess I called you. It's like, so I wanted to come and see you, and not to do an interview, but I wanted to come and see you. And so Daudi asks me, very nice to meet you, and we're doing a little bit of a color grade or something. Yeah, his film won the nomination for Kenya
For the Oscars.
international film selection to represent Kenya this year. Vera, the film's called Vera. It's really nice. Go and watch that film. And so he's like, what do you like more? What do you do most? Like, a lot of things. He's like, but what do you like most? He's like, a lot of things. What can you do really well? A lot of things. So it's not one thing. There's not one thing you do. I was like, no, there's not one thing I do. And I'll never be. And so that just, moves my argument towards that being a filmmaker and why I'm a filmmaker. Those are the reasons why. Right? That I can do a lot of things. And I don't have to depend on one thing ever to make money.
Yeah.
Right? Which is very key, because in this industry,
Especially
people
the
will
Kenyan
respect
industry.
you, if you have a lot of skills, and they respect you more if you have a lot of money. It's this country, man. It's a capitalist country. People like to associate themselves with some level of affluence.
Finally, what should we expect from you in the future?
Sure thing, man. That's why I'm here. It's really why I'm here. Because I promised myself, as a young child and as a young adult, when I get to my 40s, that's where I am, that I'll spend a lot more time creating, writing. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll probably be leaving my seat as a treasurer at Kenya Actors Guild very soon. That's not something I'm too committed towards.
Is it a seat that you hold after a few terms?
Yeah.
How many
so
terms?
when we go
How
to
many
the
years, rather?
It's supposed to be 3 years, I think, I'm sure. But minus those COVID years, it was complicated. So I'm actually now here since 2019. So 2021 to 3. So I'm at 4th year now. But I definitely want to give it to the next person to do. That's how it should be done. Just 2 weeks ago, I was assistant producer at the Africa Climate Summit and Africa Climate Week.
Nice.
And Africa Youth Climate Assembly, ICA. So that was my last job. And of course, it involved filming, it involved the tech, it involved interviews, social media, it involved a lot of things, stage, whatever. So I am at work. I don't work conventionally, like the way a textbook filmmaker does or a textbook.
But it's still filming.
It's just the nature of the job, right? That's where I get employed, that's where I get money. I try to put some friends in, from the sector, do a little bit of crossover, make sure everybody gets a little something. So I try to be that way. But there are definite challenges when it comes to that. Because this industry generally, as you know, between our friends and others and what have you, there's a lot of jealousy. And at the top, the better your life gets, the more there's a bit of a crab mentality. The more people want to like pull you down to whatever, I don't know. I didn't know it. The song by Notorious B.I.G., More Money, More Problems. I used to think it's a nice song. It's not just a song.
It's life.
There's some real truth, right? Yeah. B.I.G. was very wise at a very young age. So yeah, it's a challenge. If you get a little bit of money, you're going to make more enemies.
Yeah.
Yes. A hell lot. Life gets a hell lot more complicated if you're starting to do a little bit okay. I miss the days when I had nothing. Because nobody gave a damn about me. Nobody gave
You should not miss those days.
In the social context, I terribly miss it.
Okay.
I terribly miss not having money. I terribly miss it. Because it was so simple. I used to wake up in the morning, go and hustle, or try and look for work, go back. Nobody even paid any mind to you. Nobody even had an opinion about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2008, 2010, 2011, nobody had an opinion about me. I could be in any meeting, anywhere, at any level, and people are like,
that guy.
Yeah. Now people are just like, shit, this Virani is coming in the room. I don't know what it's going to say. How is it going to affect us? I think this guy is just like this. I think this guy. Now people have opinions about it. It's a tough one to live with. Even people who I considered friends, especially in this industry. I have people who are in my inbox who call me and we're talking like the way we're talking right now. And the next thing I'm online and I see them talking some shit about me. And I'm like, bitch, we just talked. And now you're talking this shit? Why didn't you tell me this like 10 minutes ago? We were on the phone. Right? Friends. I had really good friends working in very high levels in different sectors. And because of some differences or something, they are now privately attacking me or saying things about me. Particularly this Kenya Actors Guild thing. It was not...
Pissed off people.
I'm like... You guys think, I don't know what you think it is. People think that, hey, Virani is earning a lot of money, but earning from where? You're not paying subscriptions, there's nothing, there's no money, no one's getting salaries, nothing. And I've put money from my own pocket to get things done, right? But, it was a tough one. In this industry, it's hard to navigate. If you're not... Over time, if you're in your 20s, just, start to develop a thick skin. But by the time you get to 30, you should be able to handle a lot. Yes, because people who think are your friends in your 20s, if you become successful, they are not really your friends after that. And if you don't become successful, or they won't even pick up your phone. So
it's either way.
You don't win that conversation. Your circle gets smaller as you get older. Yes, it gets just a lot smaller. Where if in your 20s you used to hang out 20, 30, 40, 50 guys in the theater or wherever we were, in your 40s you're just like, you go there are 50 guys there, but you just go and speak to 3.
And you move on.
That's it. 1, 2, 3 and you're out. So those changes. Growth you called it, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Yes, growth can be something.
Thank you guys for watching. Tafadhali, subscribe. On my back end, actually, I saw the analytics. 98% of people who watch this podcast have not subscribed. So guys, subscribe. See you guys on the next one.